All right, we are about halfway through the summer session. Oh man, time just flies. But welcome to week 2, day 3. Yesterday's exit ticket for day 2 was 3,420 divided by 60. So I have here my 60 times tables, which we worked on yesterday, and going from 6 times tables to 60. And then going from multiples of 6 to multiples of 60. Okay, now you want to find out how many 60s go into not 3 or 34, but 342. Closest you can get is 5 of them. You get 300. When you do that, 5 goes above the 342. 5 times 60 equals 300. You subtract and you get 42. Bring down that 0. 420 divided by 60 equals 7. 7 times 60 equals 420. You subtract and you get 0 left over, giving you 57 as your solution here. So if you made a mistake on this, where was that mistake? Can you identify it? That's the key. It's not about, oh, I made a mistake, I got it wrong. It's about, okay, I made a mistake, I got it wrong, but now I understand where my mistake is and I'm not doing that mistake again. So now we're going to move on to the same concept, 4-digit divided by 2-digit, but instead of having multiples of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, we're going to have random 2-digit numbers. But I'll give you a little hint. You won't have remainders, okay? In your solutions, that is. So previously we would do the 6 times tables and then turn those 6 times tables into 60 times tables. But now it's not going to be as simple. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my 66 times tables. What? Yeah, 66 times tables. All right? So let's go ahead and do those. 66 times 1 equals 66. 66 times 2 equals 6 times 2 equals 12. Carry the 1 from the 12. And you 6 times 2 equals 12. Plus 1 equals 132. 66 times 3 equals 198. 66 times 4 equals 264. 66 times 5 equals 330. 66 times 6 equals 396. 66 times 7, 462. I think that went through a little bit. 66 times 8 equals, I'm going to say this out loud, equals 40. 6 times 8 equals 48. And then 8 times 6 equals 48 plus 4 equals 52. Gives you 528. 66 times 9 equals 6 times 9 equals 54. Carry 5 of 54. 6 times 9 equals 54. Plus 5 more. 594. Okay, so I've done my 6 times tables. And yes, it'll take a little bit more time probably for you. But if you don't get this right, you're definitely not getting this right over here. So you gotta slow it down. All right? So let's see how many 66 go into 376. Because can't go into 3, can't go into 37. So now I'm going to 376. What's the closest product of my 66 times tables to 376? Closest without going over would be 330. Took me 5 times to get there. 5 times 66 gave me 330. I subtract, I get 46. Bring down my 2, I now have 462. Do you see anywhere on here a product of 462? I do, right here. So therefore, 66 goes into 462 7 times. 7 times 66 gave you that 462. You subtract, you have nothing left over, like I had mentioned was going to happen, no remainders. So the answer is 57. And you can always check it by doing 57 times 66. Doing the inverse of the division here. So I'm going to slide us over to number 2. I'm going to keep number 1 visible for you. Okay? But for starters, I'll do the 54 times tables just for you. And I'll have you take over. Okay? So 54 times 1 is 54. 54 times 2 equals, 4 times 2 equals 8. 5 times 2 equals 10. 108. And we get 162. And 216. Oops. I'll circle that one. And then we have 54 times 5 equals 270. 54 times 6 equals 324. One day you'll get here. We'll get just as fast as this. Maybe even, you'll probably even get faster than me. 54 times 7 equals 378. 54 times 8 equals 432. 54 times 9 equals 486. All right, so now you have your 54 times table, as I like to call it. There's no such thing as that, but you're timesing individual digits by 54, just like you would do for times tables. Okay? Go ahead and solve 3,456 divided by 54. Hit the pause button to do that now. Okay, we're back. So, 54 goes into 345. How many times? The closest I can get is 324, which means it goes in 6 times. 6 goes above that 5 of 345. And you do 6 times 54, which gave you 324. You subtract, and you get 2 and 1, so 21. Bring down your 6. You have 216. Do you see anywhere on that board 216 as the product of 54 times tables? I do. Right there. Therefore, it meant 54 goes into 216 4 times. 4 times 54 equals 216. As we see here, we get nothing left over in the solution of 64. All right. So the hardest thing I think probably is actually doing your multiplication tables here. All right? Of your 2-digit number. So I'm going to have you do that now with 47. All right? After doing that, so you're going to pause. You're going to solve your 47 times tables. You're going to unpause it to make sure your 47 times tables are correct. And then you're going to pause it again to solve the rest of the problem. So hit the pause button to solve your 47 times tables. Do that now. Okay, let's check your 47 times tables now. 47, 94, 141, 188, 235, 282, 329, 376, and 423. Are we good? If you are, hit the pause button again to actually solve the division expression now. Okay, you solved the division expression. So now let's go ahead and let's check it together. 47 how many times does that go into 211? Well, hopefully you realize it's going into 211, not 2, not 21, but 211. The closest I can get is 4 times. So I'm going to put that 4 there above the 211, the 1 from the 211. 4 times 47 equaled 188. I don't have to do that in my head. It's right there. Okay, then I'm going to do some subtraction. This is where you could get lost. Can't take 8 from 1, so I'm going to borrow or steal from the tens place here. Well, now I can do 11 minus 8 equals 3, but I'm left with 0. I can't take 8 from 0, so I borrow from the 2. Make that a 1, make this 0 a 10. 10 minus 8 equals 2. Now I have 23. Bring down my 5. 235. How many 47s are going into 235? Do you see that on the board anywhere? I hope so. Right here. 5 of them. So 5 times 47 gives you 235. You subtract, and you end up with nothing left over, giving you 45 as your answer. All right, last but not least, before the exit ticket, 5,616 divided by 78. Once again, I want you to solve your 78 times tables, hit the pause button, check them, then pause it again to finish the problem. So go ahead and start off by hitting the pause button now, please. I really hope you're taking this serious and you're actually trying to do your 78 times tables here. It's wonderful practice, which is only going to make it easier for you this upcoming year. Okay? So 78 times tables: 78, 156, 234, 312, 390, 468, 556, 624, and 702. You got them all right? If not, make those corrections. And now hit the pause button to continue solving for the division problem. Mr. Prism realized he made a mistake. This was not 556, it was 546. So I apologize for that mistake. I didn't realize it until I started correcting myself here, checking myself here, like, wait a second, this doesn't make sense. So, going a little too fast. It happens sometimes. So that's 546, so go ahead and continue where you left off after fixing that mistake. Okay, so I ended up getting the answer of 72. How did I do that? Well, 561, 78 goes into 7 times. And I get 546. Okay, when I do that, when I subtract it, I got 15. I bring down my 6, and now I have 156. How many 78s go into 156? Well, I can see that right here, 2 of them. 2 times 78 gave me 156. I subtract, I have nothing left over, giving me the solution of 72 for my answer. All right, now let's end the week on a really positive note and have you go ahead, if you're feeling confident, go and do the exit ticket problem now. Submit your answer in the Google form and have a wonderful weekend. But if you're not feeling 100% confident, go back, try to identify where your mistakes are happening, okay? Come participate in one of my Zoom sessions, and I'd be happy to help you out if you're still stuck, all right? Got to identify those mistakes if you're going to learn and improve and progress. Have a great time this weekend, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.